Speaking about action figures, you know who does
so much stuff. It's
you know who's a good manufacturer of action figures for? Let's say
I know you're gonna say we talked about this. I'm like, I've never bought a toy from them. Every toy I have had that's come in a collection always seems like it's broken because the articulation is so like particular, if that makes sense.
Well, it lacks a little bit of articulation that makes up for detail.
Say who you're talking about?
Detail. NECA.
NECA,
yeah. I would say the best quality for your money you probably get.
Cool
from
sculpts.
NECA.
They have a lot of really cool licenses.
Oh, their IPs.
Jesus, their licenses.
Their intellectual properties are bad.
They might have the best when it comes to like
mall horror movies,
problem is though with a lot of their licenses. And there's another thing, so I don't know how you are about action figures, but like, what are some of the reasons why you like Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe or wrestlers or something as much as you like them? It's because the collecting is so broad that like there's a lot of guys that you can collect that like go against each other, and it's just this deep pool of, whereas with NECA they have a lot of licenses that have like one cool kid. Like there's just, you got how many Freddy movies? 9? The only character you got into the Freddy movies is just Freddy. So you just have Freddy. You don't have any like
no, I don't think so. Yeah.
No, you don't. You're not going to use Nancy or whatever, right? Like you're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So you have just this one. So like Freddy as a standalone, really cool. NECA's sculpt's cool. Lack of articulation, not in my bag. And then on top of that, I would say just the lack of the like a roster.
Okay.
Legends has a roster. Joe's has a roster. Wrestling has a roster. Guys who can fight guys.
Yeah.
Guys that can collide. There can be these showdowns where we can like, but like with Freddy and Jason and that, like, they're cool. Are they gonna fight each other? Is that kind of the idea? Because it's not like a world. It's just a character. It's not a world. You know what I mean? So like, I like NECA stuff in that sense. They're boss looking. Oh,
they're great looks.
Their packaging is off the chain with the like actual like boxes. Like it's really nice stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I've never seen any of their like, I don't know if they do like order stuff off their website, and I'm sure they do, or like special stuff for like some sort of NECA member, because I'm sure all that exists.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Yeah.
But the stuff that goes to retail that we see in Toys R Us, eye appeal is like a 9 out of 10. Like 9 out of 10. When they're new released, you always go and look at that stuff.
No, of course, yeah, they're great toys.
Right.
I like the RoboCop one that they just released. Pretty nice.
Again, but
pretty
nobody for RoboCop to fight.
Yeah, there's Ed 2 and on that. You got Kane, and that's it. So.
Right.
I think they maybe have that.
See what I mean, though?
Mutant guy.
See what I mean? I'm not shitting on RoboCop, and I'm not shitting on NECA, but they grab these licenses that have no depth, and they put out 1 or 2 guys, and then there's nothing for those guys to do if you like playing with toys.
Right. Well, yeah.
Because I like playing with toys.
Playing with toys. That's more of a Legends type of you play with toys.
But
I think
I
more
play
like
with Legends.
Huh?
Right. I play with Legends. Though.
Yeah. Right. No. Exactly. I think there's a difference because they
play with wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think NECA's meant to be played with.
You don't.
I think they're meant to be.
No, they're more. Yeah, they're like starting lineup guys.
Yeah.
Or, right.
Well, because it just goes back to like the McFarlane type of stuff, like the movie Maniacs type of, where it's just like they didn't have
terrible toys to play with. Them shits all broke and had weirdo like articulation too. Everything moved and slid and turned in weird directions, and it was not. There was no uniformity to it, as if it was all just human bodies.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of uniquely sculpted like pieces, one-off pieces. So because of that, they didn't subscribe to the idea that people on the other end were playing with them. What they were thinking was like, people on the other end are collecting these and they're enjoying the like look of it, but they didn't take into consideration that like, man, to make things look the way you're making them look in these like uniquely molded pieces is making it so like it's almost unplayable, that toy.
Well, yeah, I think like I said, it goes with detail over articulation and stuff like that.
Couple spawns.
J. Michael Slater brings up, their gargoyle line is pretty dope from the Disney's Gargoyle. NECA's. The Disney's Gargoyles.
That's wrong. I mean, that's a bit of a roster.
They
I don't know
Ninja
what
Turtles.
the rosters, what the Gargoyles. I don't remember that. I'm a little older than Gargoyles. Like I'm 40, so like that's a little bit younger than me, couple years. But like, it seems like Gargoyles, that went on for a bit. They would have had something they were doing.
I think they've gone for 4 seasons. They have like a live action.
Turtles is a roster. Turtles has enough.
Yeah.
Because there's like we mentioned a Bebop Rocksteady thing earlier. Like there's Bebop Rocksteady, there's Shredder, there's Baxter Stockman, there's.
I'm not sure like how many of like Deep they have.
Scar or whatever his name. Well, I mean, there's got to be 3, 4, 5 seasons of cartoons of the Gargoyles, right?
Oh, for the Gargoyles, I think there's 4.
Were they just
I think it's 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
What were they doing for all those episodes?
Well, they're fighting Xanatos.
So there we go. That's what I mean. There's a roster.
Yeah.
There's like I would consider Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like 16 guys is easily a roster. RoboCop and other robot thing. That's not a roster. That's RoboCop.
Yeah.
It's just RoboCop.
Well, I think that's why people buy it, because it's RoboCop. Right? Not like a big roster of guys.
And I think that's what sucks about the NECA stuff. Is that even if you've got like a really cool guy, there's nothing further to get into.
But I think it's more like on to the next piece, because I've got my RoboCop now. Now it's gone to like Terminator, or it's on to whatever the next guy has.
I do get that. I do get that. Because there are people that are just.
Because I don't think they have their own like real IP. Right?
No.
NECA, I think they still pay for all these licenses.
Right. No, I guess I do see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
I would like to see NECA take on something that has
something a little more original.
Something a little more maybe or a little more robust. Like something that again that has more of like waves, where you're getting guys all from the same universe, 4, 5, 6 of them at a time in a wave, and something that's planned out for like. Because I'd like to see what kind of real toy manufacturer they really are, because they've only ever done these like statuey, kind of brittle, but like really cool one-off licenses. But
I only think the real deep line they have.
I play with toys.
I think the only real two deep lines is the Predator line and the.
Done a lot of Predators
and Alien.
Still kind of a brittle toy, not really great for playing.
I don't know. I've never really played with them. I have a few NECA toys.
But again, I don't know how the manufacturing changed, because like you said, there was a lot of series of those. Like they went through 12 waves, 14 waves.
Oh, I think more than that.
Right.
And they've all changed. Like they have the Ultimate Edition.
Exactly. Tons of that.
Yeah.
And Predator's kind of deep, but like, did they make that? Is that universe like that?
What?
Did NECA make that like that, or is that
no? That
universe.
That's like that from the books and everything.
Like, is that where they got a lot of those, or did they make those properties?
No,
there was that many Predators.
Oh, in the second movie, there was like 10 of them in the movie. You just didn't know that they were there until the very end, where Buddy's like in the ship, and you just finish killing the Predator.
Right.
And then all the Predators come from being like invisible, and they give them the old pistol and everything before they blow it up.
That's true.
Yeah, so no, they have a deep history.
I guess,
comics go back for so long.
True.
There's different tiers of Predator.
I was thinking that was more of a more recent thing, but I guess you are right that like there is signs in the past of the Predator stuff where like there was. So I guess the fucking action figure lines went ham.
Oh, Kennedy.
They put out his
back in the
90s.
Yeah,
right.
Predator toy line's been around for a while.
Yeah, that's a good one. Not really playable. Like I've played with a few.
Yeah.
Not really. Playable.
You know what good NECA's good for, like diorama set, like the characters.
You know what's always a bummer is when the wrestling action figures are not playable figures.
Right, when you think they would be, because
you look at it, you're like,
wrestling.
Right, you know what it's supposed to be for, and it's you fail at it, and there has to be like actual like mental gymnastic workarounds to actually get it to work. That's always unfortunate, because like you said, you've got one thing to get right.
Yeah.
Like you're here because you're for a certain thing that has guys doing things where they're actually physically interacting with each other. You have to make that somewhat feasible, like an executable sort of thing. It's prudent to your strategy. So when you see that, and it's happened a few times.
Like, I imagine the hair gets in the way a lot with wrestlers, huh? Or their clothes, like their shoulders probably don't go up as high.
I haven't played with a toy in a long time, so like wrestlers, again, nice roster. I like collecting some of the stuff, I collect the older stuff, but they don't. I don't think they're made for that anymore. I think they're kind of so expensive. Because again, I don't do that.
Oh yeah, like
and it's been a long time, right, dude?
Like Legends are the same thing. Legends are the same thing.
Like how is it so
expensive? You're paying like $49.
Nobody's buying that.
No, dude.
Like,
no, and then I saw when I was at the Toys R Us the last time I went there with my brother. I saw the Sentinel from like the 90s X-Men series. So it came on a big card back from the cartoon.
Oh yeah,
$100, $100.
Wow.
For it. And it came on a card back and then it wasn't anything.
Cool.
It's very cool because it was just like the cartoon, but a $99.99 they wanted for it. Like, what are you talking about?
They're bugging.
This is supposed to be toys. These aren't like hot toys where you're spending like a few $100s on. Like, there's a difference. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's always been these people that run out and buy stuff that they try to flip. So I mean, I guess you're trying to price out the arbitrage and the margins that like flippers. But what you're doing is like you say, you're boxing out like kids.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to. That's what toys are for.
You know, I seen another Dollarama.
Like the toys that are supposed to be expensive are vintage toys when you're trying to get your youth back 30 years later.
I saw Marvel Legends out Dollarama.
Shut up, really?
3 3/4 inches, yeah. They're
like the Kenner ones?
Like the Kenner ones there, yeah.
Oh, like Captain Marvel?
Like the Captain Marvel, Phoenix, there was a Wolverine there.
Shut up.
Yeah. Just over here in Clariview.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like the doubles like you always see. There was one where the car was ripped.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, they had stacks, rows of them.
Well, I mean, that's some kid got lucky.
Yeah.
That's right on.
Well, that's good for like see that, but yeah, charging like $50 for like a toy, just a toy. It's not a collector's thing.
I can understand if it's from a series where a guy was the hot figure and there hasn't been many of them, and it's in a paint job everybody loves, and like one figure jumps up, 30 or 40% above what his market value was. It's like $30 I was fine with.
Yeah, I
was fine with $30 a toy because it felt like, okay, you're making a little bit. This packaging is nice. Like the figure's well built.
Just throw it in a box now.
You go above and beyond with like different sculpts and the articulation and doing these build figures and trying to have like a lot of versatile releases. Like Marvel doesn't pigeonhole themselves and just do like the same guys over and over again. Because even sometimes if you jump on the bandwagon at a certain point in time collecting Marvel Legends, you might be 6 months or a year removed from a serious Spider-Man series where you can actually just get like a baseline Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's Marvel Legends does a good job for the most part, but that pricing scheme is not gonna fly for long.
Absolutely not.
Who's gonna be interested in paying $55, $60 for
a toy that you can't even see anymore because it's in a box?
The kids thing, first and foremost.
And you know what's gonna suck is because like now you can't see inside the box. So those people, everybody knows them out there. Those scammers that return Marvel Legends.
I remember
they're gonna return them in those boxes. They're cardboard.
I remember in the first years of Marvel Legends when they came out in the early 2000s. Like first, it was the Amazing Spider-Man series. There was 1 year of Amazing Spider-Man that were these same figures. Like it was Spider-Man guys, like 8 different Spider-Man guys for one, and then the next series was Marvel Legends Series 1. But it was the same sculpts, same bubbles, same all that, right? Like it's just one series says it's Spider-Man, then it starts into the Marvel Legends stuff. So I remember from the very beginning this stuff, from the very, very beginning, and they were $20 at the beginning, Canadian. And it was expensive. But this was pre-movies. This was, I want to say this maybe was pre-Tobey Maguire movie, but
so like 90s?
No.
Because 2001 was the first movie,
pre-Tobey, but post-X-Men is when the stuff came out.
So in 2000.
So in
X-Men
like late 2000, right, because X-Men came out like July of 2000 or June of 2000.
Yeah.
This would have been like November, Christmas
time,
the Christmas toy release of 2000. Even though there was no X-Men in it, it was like a prelude to Spider-Man coming out. I said, the first series was Spider-Man. Then the next series wasn't Wolverine still. The series 1 of Marvel Legends was
Iron Man.
Mole Man, right? Iron Man, Hulk,
Cap.
Captain America, and is that it?
I think just Mole Man was the other one.
Is that it? Just 4 guys?
Yeah.
Might have been.
No, there's.
I don't remember what the Spider-Man series was, but there was a. I don't know if there was 2 waves or just 1. I feel like there was like 8. So if you're saying if we're saying there was only 4 in the first Legends series, there might have been 2 waves of Amazing Spider-Man.
Have you seen the re-release the first wave of the Marvel Legends? Toyz style. Remember they came in the plastic box.
Right.
Toys R Us.
Yeah, they come
Hulk was super heavy
in the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Right. That's absolutely correct. We did see those. Well, yeah, I guess I would be the only 4 then, because there was no Thor.
No, they didn't even re-release Mole Man for the series. It was just the.
No,
3.
wasn't there?
There was a Mole Man that was released because we looked it up. It was like,
right, he's got no
4.
articulation at all.
No, but they only did the 3 figures: Cap, Iron Man, and Hulk. Somebody's gonna buy Mole Man.
And those are the $60 ones, I imagine.
$60 ones. Yeah.
I would imagine Hulk's maybe even more than 60.
Oh, he's pretty hefty, man. That guy was like 20 pounds. I imagine, now they're probably going up now.
That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that is ridiculous.
The first series are cool though. Yeah,
yeah. That's like the finger articulation was cool.
They did.
Toyz had
the Hulk. The one Hulk had the fingers that were like they bend. They had the wire in them. They were straight and you could bend them.
Didn't the thing have that too?
But then there was a Hulk that was the same Hulk that was the variant that had the fingers that actually had the joints.
Yeah.
That were harder. I personally liked those better because I felt like while it was cool that you could bend them yourself, you could never get them into a good fist.
No, because they're kind of flat.
So if a guy was going to crack a guy, they just kind of like, this. Right. So I liked kind of the hand that did this because I figured there's nothing like this he's doing anyway. He's not waving.
High.
Right. So I like the fingers on the tracks kind of more than the wire fingers.
Yeah, I'd rather fingers on the tracks than just have the molded hands.
But they did have finger articulation. All of them. They did,
yeah.
Like Cap did, Iron Man.
Spider-Man, they all did.
Marvel Legends were awesome. Even the Legends that they did with the 3 3/4, not the Kenner stuff that you were talking about that's apparently
yeah, with the universe.
But the universe stuff, the 3 3/4 stuff with all the articulation and all the like series they did that spun off of those. All those universe series that they did that were the Iron Man movie stuff that had like Whiplash and shit in it. There was some Spider-Man stuff from that time frame. Oh, what else was there? Because this is like pre-Guardian. There was some Thor stuff from the Dark World.
They had all the Iron Man movies.
They had the Iron Man, like all the armors that they did in a couple of the series where they did the Armor Wars.
It was
they
like 23, 30
they had all that good stuff.
They had a couple Deadpools.
They did have a couple Deadpools.
A gray, a red, and I think a yellow.
But those were in the Universe series, the actual full series.
Yes.
Right? Because like when the gray one was in... Shit, what was that? What were those in? What was Deadpool from? There was a Deadpool San Diego Comic Con that had like the champion of the galaxy or whatever his name is, and then the girl, Lady Deadpool, and the dog, and then the taco truck. That was like an SDCC exclusive from like 2011, 2010, 2012, something like that. For the Marvel Universe 3 3/4. I don't know what the red Deadpool or the gray Deadpool came from. They were in 2-packs, or
I don't know. Maybe they're
because there were 2-packs.
I think the Deadpool, the gray one, was a single one for some reason.
You might be right. I just don't remember. We had a few Deadpool.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
And we had the toy store.
Yeah.
Like I love that series. That series had all the good stuff. Just like Legends. Yeah. Legends is just so much more expensive.
You know what the Legends series that died, that really never took off? The big ones, the big 12.
The big ones. The Deadpool we have.
Yeah, he's around.
He's somewhere around.
They only had they had the Hulk, they had Thor.
They had that first series.
Yeah.
But there was never a Venom.
No, there was an Iron Man.
There was an Iron Man, a Hulk, a Thor.
Thor, and I think maybe a Captain America.
Well, there was a Deadpool.
Deadpool for sure. Maybe not a Cap, but a Deadpool for sure, yeah. I think it was just a Thor.
Maybe not a Thor.
No, I think there was a Thor.
No, maybe not a Thor. No, maybe Iron Man, Hulk.
Yeah.
Captain America. Yeah.
You might be right on that, you know.
What's the Marvel Legends website? There's a good Marvel Legends website. It's got a wicked database. Now I can't think what the fuck it's called. There's a wicked one out there because like we used to have a toy store. So
We
like,
did.
I know a lot about Marvel Legends, but I can't think of this off the top of my head. But back in the day, and I'm sure it's still around, hopefully still updated, there was a really good Marvel Legends.
Were they 12 or 18?
They were 12.
Were they 12? I think they were maybe 18, right?
You think? Maybe? You think that Deadpool is 18 inches?
Yeah, they're 18.
Are they?
That's him right there, right? Is that him?
That's what it's from. Yeah. It's got the extra head
Yeah.
in there, like the head with the beanie on it, the spinny beanie.
Oh, that's right. He did have something like that.
Yeah, there's extra. There's head and hands, and so it's swords instead of the guns, but there's guns. It's cool.
It was.
He's
really
a little
cool.
cumbersome on the joints. Like,
Spider-Man was the other one.
was there Spidey?
There was
who
Spidey.
Who were they?
A Spidey.
Deadpool, Spidey.
A gray Deadpool 2.
Oh
A
shit!
Captain America, a Thor, and a Hulk.
So no Iron Man. No Iron Man.
No.
Right on.
No
And
Iron
then they bailed on it. What
Oh.
website are we on?
Oh, I was just on Google.
Oh, I thought maybe you were looking up this actual. There's a good Marvel Legends website because that probably would have been on that in the database.
Toyz? Is it Toyz?
No. It's something Marvel Legends.
Something Marvel
It's like a WordPress website, done by one guy, right? Like, but it's been around for
forever, huh?
shit. I want to say since like 2010, man. Like I've been using it since like before the toy store started. It's a great database because
I can't remember. I think I've used it. With
there's a good one.
Oh look, they had a Wolverine too. So they had
So they had other
They've
stuff.
had a few of them, yeah.
They had other stuff. I've never seen the Wolverine.
No, because that was gone instantly.
Yeah, but you would think the other ones would have been gone and they weren't. Because I bought the Deadpool on discount. Don't you remember? Like that Deadpool was like $100. That's cool. Never seen that.
So I guess they had a ton of them.
So is it still going on? Does it look again? That other thing would probably be where it's at because it would show the release dates of series, and you can kind of estimate.
Yeah, it looks like the newest one would have been Black Panther, the first movie.
That's pretty dope, though.
That is. I've never seen any of.
But again, they don't have a big enough roster. That's the good part about the Legends thing or DC Universe. The DC Universe stuff, or like the McFarlane stuff we've been talking about with what's it called? That's DC Universe too, isn't
DC
it?
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
Yes.
DC Universe is the Mattel stuff. That shit's boss.
That stuff is boss.
That stuff's so boss. The reason it's good because it's got a deep roster. A little pricey. It's pricey now.
Yeah, the DC icons were good.
Especially in retrospect. It's super pricey now. If you want to go back and get into DC Universe, definitely like carded stuff.
Yeah.
You pay a fucking arm and a leg for all that stuff.
Oh yeah, you are.
Like,
you are.
There's some cool multi-packs they have where it's got DC Universe guys and then like He-Man guys.
Oh yes, they did that.
They've got a DC Universe He-Man with like Superman and Skeletor.
No, it's Superman and He-Man, Skeletor and Lex Luthor.
Superman and He-Man, right.
Yeah, and then they had like a Superman and Muhammad Ali thing. They had a bunch of those things. And that was it Iron Horse Studio that did that? With the Mattel?
Might have been.
Because they did the Masters of the Universe Classics.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's Iron Horse or four
those Motu Classics was another line that's mad slept on.
Great.
If like you're not really like hip to like the actual like goings on in the action figure world, because that was something you had to do through the Mattel collecting stuff. That wasn't something that was a retail thing, but that line went on for years. And the articulation and paint jobs and sculpts on that are off the fucking chain. Like that DC Universe stuff, or rather Masters of the Universe Classics, is like some of the best action figures I've ever seen. We've had.
Oh yeah, we've had some.
Yeah, we've had.
Just about all of like the original ones of when they first came out.
We did.
He-Man, Battlecast, Skeletor.
We did have a shit different stuff, didn't we?
I have two.
They're pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I have
those
two
things are remarkable.
Rebel He-Man.
Okay.
And
what makes him a rebel? Does he have like cock out?
Well, so they call him Rebel He-Man is because it's a license from the '87 movie.
Okay.
So they couldn't get the license from Canon.
It's him as Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, so they couldn't get the licenses from Canon to use actual Dolph Lundgren or like the He-Man from that. So what they used to make the toys was the concept art from the guy who worked on the movie.
Oh, right on.
So they made the toys off the concept
cool.
art, so they didn't have to make canon.
I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but like that's cool.
Yeah,
so it kind of looks like Dolph then.
Oh, it looks just like Dolph. Has the costume.
What's the other one?
Skeletor. So they did four. They did four toys.
The other toy you have is Skeletor from the movie.
In the black outfit, yeah, from the movie. Pretty dope.
Again, you liked the movie though.
I did as a kid growing up. I loved it.
I loved Canon Films. There's two phenomenal documentaries on Canon.
Oh,
I
don't know if
you've watched the ones on.
I have watched those.
And they seem like hilarious dudes. And it's a Canon Films movie, and I like Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
But fuck, as somebody who grew up on the cartoon, because again, a little older than you.
Yeah, I grew up on the cartoon too.
Right, but I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
So like, I was around before things were bastardized with the movie. So like, right, I got 3 years on you. That's a bit.
Yeah, that's big 3 years.
That's a bit when it comes to things in a narrow time frame. If we're talking 83 to 87 when that movie came out.
5 years, right?
Right, right. So, yeah, I don't know. The cartoon's better.
Oh no, I
rest my case. I rest my case. I don't need to defend myself.
No, you don't know.
Everybody out there would agree with me.
I would say that is a franchise that has been slept on far too long. Master of the Universe.
Not toy-wise, because again, Master of the Universe.
They're still making toys. They're still making toys to this day of Origins and whatever.
Never gonna repeat that classic series. It'll never cross that Rubicon again, which is a series where I know it's difficult for people to find, but if you're a Master of the Universe collector or think about getting into it, you should start there.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't start with the new stuff before I started with the classics.
No, I'd definitely go back to the classics or the original vintage stuff. I would definitely
vintage stuff is cool. Vintage stuff. So I think the classics encompass the vintage so perfectly and then added on so much actual value over and above that.
Absolutely.
That it's probably the series, like, I don't know if I've ever seen a series better than that.
No, you know what I love about the series too, and like I was saying, it's such a sleeper series that they've missed out on such a good movie franchise.
3/4 inch G.I. Joe.
And no, not just that.
Slept on.
But I love how it's a mixture of technology and magic, He-Man.
Oh yeah, He-Man's cool.
I love that. It's like all different worlds, all crazy fantasy,
super
colors
cool.
and stuff like that. I like that.
Like just one world with like everybody's like different. Everybody's this unique thing that like.
Well, in He-Man, they didn't have baddies that they fought. You notice that there wasn't just like generic bad guys he fought. Not like in She-Ra. She-Ra had all those soldiers, but everybody was.
Everyone was like a guy.
Yeah,
was an actual guy. Like do you know what He-Man? You know how it started? You know how like that whole thing started, like the He-Man, how it became like a thing and how they like pitched it and why they pitched it and like where.
Wasn't it like Wonder Man first?
Yeah, there was like there was a bread giveaway.
And they were just thinking, how could they sell toys and stuff like that? Because they already had the comic book.
They were they were doing some like, what's that called? Or like regional testing on like an idea.
Yeah.
To see like what the response would be. Like made this generic like barbarian character.
Yeah, it was like brown
released
hair.
them in like the bread thing. You had to redeem a certain number of things to get, to get him to get mailed to you in 12 to 18 weeks or whatever it happens to be. So yeah, that's where he started, and it was all because, and that's the same thing that the cartoon was. The cartoon was basically a vehicle for them to be able to sell toys.
Oh, Ninja Turtles was the same thing, right?
But it was excellent. Well, I don't think Eastman and Laird started the Ninja Turtles in that capacity.
No.
So it wasn't started in, and I'm not saying Master of the Universe, it started in bad faith or anything like that. Like, it was what it was for what it was, and it's excellent. So I like the Master of the Universe.
Me too.
Why they started it. But Eastman and Laird with the Ninja Turtles, they didn't start that.
No, not like that.
No, maybe you mean when Nickelodeon and all that,
when the cartoon
started making the then I can see where they were in cahoots to pitch a retail product, which is smart because Ninja Turtles is an awesome brand too, which has got great waves of action figures from the early 90s.
Brand still going strong.
Not the greatest articulation for the waves from the 90s, but
not from Playmates though.
Not from Playmates, but they're cool figures. Wicked sculpts. Yeah. A lot of interesting ideas in that Turtles universe. So I like it. It's not one of the best, but it's in the top maybe 10.
From the original stuff.
What would you top 10? Let's flesh out. Give me a top 10. Okay. Give me a top 10. If we're both saying, just because we're talking about this, We're saying Masters of the Universe Classic is number 1.
Of course, probably G.I. Joe next.
Wait, we'll just, so now we need 9 more. So what are 9 more? We're gonna say G.I. Joe for sure.
Yeah.
We'd say Legends.
Absolutely.
I would give Legends in the 6-inch and in the 3 3/4. I wouldn't just give Legends.
Anything like
No,
that.
I would give them both because they were both good. Because that 3 3/4 series went deep. It didn't stay for as long, but it went bloody deep.
All right.
So G.I. Joe, both Legends.
I would say the real Ghostbusters for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's deep enough?
Oh yeah. I like the
How many waves did that go?
Oh, that went from like 86 all the way to like the end of the 90s something.
Wow, really?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
it's this kind of stuff where I don't even know.
Kenner made so many different.
Right, so
stories.
Star Wars is definitely going to get you.
Absolutely,
Because
yes.
the roster, see, we're underestimating things already. We're probably going to do the DC universe because that's probably DC's deepest one. And if not, I would like to get superpowers in that motherfucker as well. But then you're going to do regular Motu. You can't leave that out. And then you do TMNT vintage and you're already out of spaces here. So like, you can't even do a top 10. But I would say Motu Classic still reigns at the top just because of the quality.
Yeah, no, I would.
Star Wars has some dope shit. It's got the articulation at 3 3/4 and at 6-inch. It's got the accessories. It's got the depth, just like Legends does.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe's has some great series. Never really done a 6-inch series, but it's had some great 4-inch and 3 3/4 stuff with chest articulation and with the O-ring. I love that O-ring thing. A lot of these old vintage ones, Motu and TMNT, kind of lack in articulation, but they make up for it in their
imagination.
Right, and in being the OG, the one that really got it off the porch. But the problem is I don't think any of them encapsulate what the Motu Classic has.
No, just what Master Universe has, all the plays.
And I think there's going to still be more of these that we're going to go through. If we start going through all these, there's going to be more and more.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you get into the WWE stuff and the history that they have going back to making toys with LJN back in like 1984. Yeah. You've got a lot of toys that are like thousands and thousands of wrestlers. So the roster is pretty snug. So there's a lot of...
And these are just, remember, there's just guy toys. There's like Barbie and girls that like has such a deep roster. We're just talking about...
Yeah, but I'm not trading you my Barbies. There's no fucking way. So you just keep your hands to yourself.
Encapsulator, bro.
Leave my Barbies alone.
They're in another dimension in Narnia.
Right.
Oh yeah, Barbie collection.